Hi everybody, it's Mary Ann, it's so right. And today I'd like to talk about putting piping into a project, whether it be a pillow or a collar of a garment or a facing area to give an accent. So today I'm using the Baby Lock Accolade, and depending on your serger, you have to check with your dealer or research it that you want the right piping foot that fits your machine. Is that this foot applies to this machine and a Triumph from Baby Lock, but it would not apply to, say, another company's machine. So you'd have to check with the company machine that you have and the piping foot that's available for it. So what I want to start with is this inside here, I just used rat tail. Rat tail can be used as an accent, or yes, it could be used as cording. So if you have some in your stash and you don't want to run out and get regular cording, you can use this. What I wanted you to do when you're making it, here I'm going to put the foot on. And what you should do is, these are cut on grain. I did not cut them on the bias just because this is a demonstration. But if you're going to make piping, I do recommend that you cut your strips on the bias, because most likely you will be doing curves, and then the curve with bias, you'll have that give that it'll make the curves nice and eased in. So, but these are on grain, so it is important that you cut them on the bias. If you do think that you're just going to be going straight, cut them on grain. Actually, you'll be saving fabric that way. So I'm going to put my cording inside my fabric here. I'm going to fold this over, and I've set my machine up to do what I refer to as the first step. I am going to do a 3-thread overlock narrow, because it's going to stitch it that the needles are going to be away from the cording. It's going to be a little bit of a distance. And then when I put it inside the other two pieces of fabric, I'm going to add my left needle, and it'll be a 4th thread, and then it'll be joining all the pieces, but then the needle will be snugging right against the cording, so it'll give that nice tight finish. So here I'm going to place this under here, and I am going to let it trim the fabric, so it's going to give that really great edge. If I had cut this skinnier, I could have a lot of irregularity in it, where now I'm going to be able to control exactly the finish. So here we go. I'm doing a 3-thread narrow overlock. I'm going to straighten that out, get that under there. And the cord that's inside here is going into a channel that's under the foot. So now my rat tail or piping is inside the fabric, and it's free, it moves because it's not snug tight. Now I'm going to take my other fabric that I'm going to put it into, and it's going to get sandwiched in between these. So I'm going to lay this one down, and I'm going to lay this one down, and I will hold the layers together with a pin, so that as I'm starting to put it under the presser foot, it's going to hold it nicely in place for me to get my fresh start. Now before I continue, I have to add back my left needle, and I'm going to switch my machine to a 4-thread overlock. Depending on your machine, you're going to check your settings of what your machine should be set at. Here on the Accolade, I'm able to refer to a reference chart and follow. Here's a 4th thread, here was the 3-thread narrow, so you would just follow your setup and set up your machine to do the stitch you want. So here I'm going to add my other needle that's going to be on the left. Move this. There we go. Now I'm going to thread my other needle, and I am using contrasting all these different color threads just so that you could see the function of each thread or looper or needle, where it's going to fall. I always say when you're threading the top of your machine, make sure your presser foot is up, come down, and I always say floss your machine. Come down, up and down. I'm going to go behind my guide, and I'm going to thread my needle on my left. I'm going to take this in here. Oh, need a fresh cut. This in here. Tweezers are your best friend with a serger, and all sergers come with tweezers. Okay, so now I've put in my left needle and I changed my settings to accommodate a 4th thread overlock. And always, just like anything else, I'm going to give it a test before I do it on the good project. Always have a scrap piece of fabric handy to feed it through, making sure everything is stitching the way you want. So now I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to get my good project. I'm going to raise the presser foot, and I'm going to feed this under. And again, I still have my cord that's under here. It's sandwiched in between the layers, and it's going to go inside that channel. And before I start, I am going to remove my needle, but I'm just going to get everything in place. Remove my pin and start to feed. And it makes it so easy because that channel that the cord is riding through is going to guide everything just nicely. And now with the 4th thread, meaning the left needle, it's going to snug up that cord nice and tight. Now yeah, you could do these things on the sewing machine, but you're not going to have that finish that a serger is going to give you. So now I have my 4th thread, overlock, and there is my cording inside there, nice and snug. So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson, and I hope to see you again on another class. Have a good day. Bye.